one of the things that I really love about you is that you're so self-reflecting and that you're so philosophical and that you're analyzing things. You're also always experimenting. There's always something, a new diet, a
Yeah.
new regimen,
Yeah.
a change of camps, a change of routines, a new theme. Like you guys are constantly like, there's
Yeah.
constantly chipping away at this piece of art of Sylvie's career and Sylvie as a fighter that you're trying to get
Yeah.
to. Sometimes, though, I wonder, like there have been moments, honestly, when I've listened to the Muay Thai Bones podcast and you've been analyzing a training session or a fight or something, and I've been thinking, wow, I feel overwhelmed at this point. In a
Yeah.
sense of, is it ever too much? Do you
Yes.
guys ever feel like you've now like thought your way to too many things? And like, is there do you guys have any routine to have periods of time where there's no talk about it, or there's no analysis, or there's no philosophizing? It's just like, we're going to do a bunch of fights, but for a little while, we're just going to chill and talk about movies or something else. And we're not gonna keep looking at the problem, because sometimes this looking away from the problem and taking a break then gives you the fresh eyes and looking at it
Yeah.
again and seeing it differently. How do you, is that just an external perception? Sometimes I
Well,
worry or
I
wonder if,
mean, the podcast is about fighting, so
yeah, 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 of
it is
course.
like 100% fight
Yeah,
oriented.
yeah.
I guess for me, I can talk about it from my end.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not thinking about fighting or Sylvie's fighting. I am finding flows to her freedom as a person. If she didn't value fighting or wanting to be excellent in fighting, then her freedom would flow in a different direction. So I'm actually thinking about this stuff all the time as a function of my love for her. I keep seeing her getting caught and trapped by either opportunities in the world or her own little trap she sets for herself. And so I'm constantly thinking about avenues of freedom for her as a person, but I don't mention like 99 out of 100 of them. What I'm also doing is I'm always feeling like, where's her threshold? Like, if you open up a new avenue, that can be a detriment if there's too many avenues. So I'm constantly trying to sense, when are things too much? And the thing is, what Sylvie's attempting to do is so hardcore that you kind of are riding a line all the time. And it's really important to keep that line at the right side of it, because the other side is really bad. And so she's doing things that are just like unheard of. The training she goes through, the self-excavation she goes through, like that's something that we share a little bit of, but you guys really don't see a lot of what that is. And so it's always a balancing act. It seems like fighting is our lives, but it really isn't fighting. It's like, what does fighting express? Like, fighting is expressing something very beautiful, very poetic, very spiritual, really. And that just happens to be the pen that she's holding. But yeah, we are trying to chill down all the time, like watch movies together. And watching movies together is actually what kind of like bonded us originally. But still, we're both very active, fertile minds. So even in a film, it goes to an inspiration of some kind of thing. But I do not want to understate how hard, like how dangerous it really is to walk this line. This is not I don't know how to say it other than that. Like, your concern for sure is a concern. It's always a concern for us. But Sylvie's not the kind of person that she could just go to the Maldives for 3 weeks. Part of what she does in her fighting and her training is she has a fucking engine of a heart, and she has to run it to balance herself. Like, otherwise, that self-critical dimension that you talk about, it will latch on without, there will be nothing to exhaust her or motivate her. It'll just turn on her and be incredibly harsh. But we're still learning this. Like, We're always trying to find that sweet spot.
Mm.
We're always trying to find it.